So a lot of folks, we have clients all the time, they're inheriting IRAs or 401ks from their parents or whoever. And so I guess, can you explain, like everyone knows, okay, well, I have to get this out in 10 years. So for a pre-tax IRA 401k that's never been taxed, if, let's say you inherited money from your parents, Peter, and you have $500,000 that you inherited in an IRA. So what are the rules around what has to come out, how much, and when? So
and again, to make things government easy, they convoluted the inherited IRA rules so that if it's a spouse that inherits it, they're fine. They can take the IRA and roll it into their own and treat it as their own. But for any children, now you've got the issue, assuming that the person was in the RMD range, they were taking distributions out. The child then has to take that money out over 10 years. 10 years from the date that the person passed. So we've had some transitional rules since 2020, 2021 that have now been solidified so that, just to use an example, if the person passed away in 2022, you have until 2032 to take the rest of the money out, but you really have to take distributions out over 25 through 31 every year, and then the money
have to be equal.
Doesn't have to be equal. It has to be at least what the RMD would have been.
Yep.
But then you get into, do I need to take more today just to utilize tax brackets? Do I need to take less today to utilize tax brackets?
So there's tax planning around that.
Tax planning all around that, because especially now we know what the tax rates are going to be in 2025. We don't know. We don't know what they're going to be after 25 yet, and we certainly don't know what they're going to be in 2032.
So if I understand you correctly, Peter, so client inherits money from an IRA from their parent who's of our RMD age. They now have 10 years to withdraw that money, right?
To empty the account.
To empty it out. They have to take out the bare minimum for sure per year, but they can take out more than that if they want to. However, if they only take out the bare minimum, if an advisor or if they're unaware is saying like, oh, just take out the RMD, then that 10th year they're going to have a massive tax hit. Is that right?
Right. So so rather than using today's brackets, if you were taking the minimum amount out and you're still paying at the 22, beginning of the 24% bracket, conceivably, and assuming in 32 the rates were the same, you're probably looking at a majority of the IRA being taxed at 37% in 32 as opposed to 24% now.
Yeah, and kind of smoothing it out over.
Yeah, smooth it out over the time rather than take it all in 32 and lose more of it.
Or there's some instances too where, I have clients that are still working and they're still in their 50s. But they're going to retire in 5 years. Sometimes the strategy there is take the minimum for 5 years, and then when your income's lower, then load up the following 5 years.
Right.
So there's planning. It sounds so cliche as I say it, but everyone's situation's unique. Yeah. But it really is. And every plan's going to be a little bit different.